a lot of our content so far has been really focused on the family generally, but I think for 2025, we're really hoping that we could actually reach more of the men. What are men facing? And really think that mental
Fair
health is
enough.
one big issue. Yeah.
Yeah. People need to do something about men's health as well.
Yes.
The world seems to focus more on women and children,
Yeah.
which is fine, but
Yes.
they also need a safe space for men. But let me welcome everyone back to the podcast. Welcome everyone back to Scatayan Podcast, where we discuss how society influences people's behavior. As usual, I'm your host. We know the boast. Toves. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the world of fitness, in particular the myth of fitness, because everywhere you look on social media, on YouTube ads, all you see is go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the gym. On every street corner, it's about the gym. And there's nothing wrong with going to the
Yeah.
gym. The only thing I want to talk about now is how is they're making it seem like if you go to the gym you're healthy forever, you're not going to fall ill, like that is the all you need for a healthy and
Yeah.
happy
The
life.
silver
And
bullet.
joining me to scatter yarn on this one is a special guest, the host of Healthy Today, Health Innovate podcast on Spotify. Please join me and give a digital round of applause to Dr. Emeka Kanebi.
Thank you. Thank
Doctor, how are you feeling
you for
today?
having me. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very, Christmassy. Yeah, so I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you?
yeah. I'm doing okay as well. For me, it's the first episode of 2025. So first of all, happy New Year to everyone. And I'm excited for what the year brings, what the year is going to bring, to see what it's going to bring. Hopefully, more followers, more listeners. You know how it goes on this digital space. But at the same time, I know that on your platform you talk mostly about what goes on in the body and what goes on in the body, and as we kind of talked about before recording started, you talked about how you want to focus this year on men's mental
Yeah.
health. And for me, I think one of the aspects of men's mental health is this aspect of fitness,
Yes. Yeah.
because everyone says go to the gym, go to the gym. Sometimes you end up going to the gym and you start actually facing some competition, some unwanted
Yeah.
competition, which can also affect some people's mental
Yes.
health. But let's talk about the gym now. Are we going to from your own medical professional practice, or general practice, whichever one? Are we actually going to the gym because it is truly beneficial for us, or is it because society has convinced us it is the only way to be fit and to be healthy?
Thank you so much. I really, when we had those initial talks about this topic, I was really excited because it's something that most people want to talk about, but they don't know how to talk about it. So I'm really glad that this is coming up on your podcast. So,
Mm-hmm.
the gym, the whole idea of the gym is more about, I think at the base of everything is exercise, right? It's
Yes.
about physical activity, keeping those muscles strengthened, keeping your lungs and all of that active, and then really just getting your circulation going. That's the base of everything.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the gym in its structure and what it was intended for, it just has different types of equipment. So it really just gives you that edge that if I was somewhere else, I wouldn't have access to all that equipment.
Yeah.
I would to the kinds of people who are in there, like a trainer, for example, who can give me a structured regimen. And then for some people, just the act of the investment, you understand, that I put
Yeah.
some money into something gets them committed to, stick to a routine. And then their trainer adds the whole gym, 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 and then they have to come and everything. That now transitions.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be healthy. I just want to be fit to. I have to achieve certain goals that's crafted
Yes.
for me. So I think that's the fine line. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you for
Yeah.
citing both some of the pros and some of the cons. The pros
Yes.
obviously
Yes.
include that everyone, people that will not have access to those kind of facilities can now do because of the
Yeah.
gym. People have that mental
Exactly.
commitment, the discipline, going all the time. That's a plus. And then on the negative side, there's a social influence and all those kind of things. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the social part, because at
Yeah.
Scatayan, I focus more on
Yes.
socialization. I want to give a quick example. So recently, I was having a conversation with some guys, some of the guys, and the one of the people asked me, "What do you do to relax?" He said, "Do you do exercise?
Oh,
Do you go to the gym?" I was like, "No, I don't go to the gym. I used to, but not anymore at this point in time. But for
yeah.
relaxation, I just like to zone out and relax."
Yeah.
And the guy looked at me as if I have said the
Mhm.
most odd thing ever. And the funny thing is, this is not the only person that's done that in recent years. It's just like people think that when you say I'm going to the gym,
Mhm.
it's like you just have one different status. But the same society that's making him feel that to relax, you have to go to the
Yes.
gym, or to rest, to go to the gym. He does not realize that the
Mm,
same society
mm.
has put that same expectation on me to him as well. Because he looks at me like this guy is a lazy guy. But me, I'm looking
Exactly.
at him as you are also bigger
Yes.
than me. Your stomach is bigger than me. So what are you doing at the gym? If you're going to
Mm,
the gym, you're
mm,
supposed to be fit, strong,
mm,
healthy,
mm.
skinny, and all of that stuff. So I want you to
Yes.
look. I don't know if you have something to say about that angle, because yes, you people go for healthy to stay fitter, but
Yes.
obviously
Yes.
they're not healthier. And for me, I don't think that making you bigger automatically mean that you're going to be sick. Because if you watch like world's
Exactly.
strongest men, they are very, very big,
Yes.
strong, but they still have the pot bellies to live the way they're doing. So
Yes.
what do you have to
Yes.
say to all of this?
Thank you so much. So I think what is so unique about this topic is or this influence from society and
Mm,
socially is you look at it even from the point of peers and what also is televised
yeah,
on social media and what comes out on television is that these are outspeak not just even for men but also for women in terms of the image that you put out there. This
yes,
is usually shown on television, these people are usually well sculpted. They look
yes,
fit, they look happier, whilst the
mm-hmm.
opposite will be somebody perhaps having a burger, yes, and
Mm,
then they would say, which do you want? And think about that. I'd seen something on
yeah,
social media recently, and then there was this guy who was well toned,
mm,
muscle and all, and whose dream isn't that? Yeah, especially when we're single, all of that is like
yeah,
this is what the girls want, and then also for the girls, and this is what the men want. They want me to have the flat tummy, the abs,
yeah,
and just that tone, and then
mm,
obviously with some baby lotion all over to give it that effect. So I think that a lot of it drives most people. And if you meet a young person today, especially,
mm,
and also even people in our generation, it's more about how is society going to perceive me? It's actually become, like you
mm,
said, there's something you said which is really true. It's become very fashionable to say, hey, I'm going to the gym. You understand?
mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm going to the club,
Yeah,
So it's that kind of
exactly.
it's that societal stuff. So, but for me, what beyond all of that, because I feel that and just you sort of touched on it a bit, as for people's mental health, and how they think, how they're
Yeah.
socialized. A lot of people have their social lives at the gym,
Yeah, we are going to go there. I'll put a pause on that. But let's come from the doctoral medical background first
Yes,
of all, because there's this myth.
yes.
I want to talk about busting some of the myths of going to the gym. There's this myth that once you're going to the gym, you're immune for all illnesses. You're going to live longer. You're never going to be sick. And my own, even though I'm not a medical doctor, I can see
Yes.
that pro athletes, are getting ill,
Hmm.
getting cancer from the
Yes.
illness from even
Yes.
though they're going to the gym. Yes, I know that there are some people that said,
Yes.
working out help improve their immune system and they help them to recover from cancer. But also, those pro athletes have never stopped. They are eating healthy, they are going to the gym regularly, they are fit. But obviously, it that shows that going to the gym is not all that it needs to live a healthy life. But so the question again basically is: does fitness guarantee you immunity?
Oh, that a brilliant question. Guarantee you immunity. So again,
Mm,
I think you've done research, and I really want to appreciate you for that. There's no silver bullet in this life, right? It's usually a
mhm.
synergy of other things. So yes, at the base of everything, going to the gym or being fit is exercise, physical activity, which is just
Yeah,
one part of a big fruit, right?
yeah,
I need to eat healthy, right? I need to sleep.
yeah,
I need to sleep
mhm,
healthy.
yeah,
I need to also mentally to have that complete state of health
mhm,
socially, physically. What guarantees my
mhm,
immunity? That's what guarantees my being healthy. But a lot of times,
mhm,
like I said, and I still think it has to do with that societal or me that there's a particular one the main one that if I do more of, then I can be
Mm.
guaranteed that elixir of life. But
Mm-hmm.
in entirety, that doesn't work. That's why we get to see people that if they do even all the things, they still forget that genetics will play a part.
Exactly.
What is my
Yeah.
biological composition, right? Because I was discussing with a couple some days back, and we discussed and said that, when in the past, when people wanted to marry and want to find out about the family, how long do the men live there? How long do the women
Mm.
live there? Because they're trying to
Yeah.
check this longevity, and to see how old people live, the life expectancies, the way we do in this part of the world, but other people use data to say how do
Yeah.
people live long. So all that bio makeup also constitutes
Mm.
my likelihood of getting ill. And that's why people get confused sometimes. They're like, I know somebody who smokes and drinks,
Mm.
and I don't do any of those, and I ended up with cancer. You
Yeah.
understand? I ended up with very ill. But this person, he smokes like a chimney, but he's 70,
Yeah.
is getting to 80. So I think like
Yeah.
just
That's
like what
true.
you,
Yeah. I've heard.
it's not just one thing. Yes, exactly. It's not just one thing.
Fair enough. And then the myth number two that I have is that people will say if you're because I used to go to the gym as well, and they say if you're
Yes.
not lifting heavy weights, you're not really working out. Is that
Mm,
medically true? Because I know that people do yoga
no.
and they're still healthy. People that do Pilates and all those things, even going
Exactly.
on a walk. Yeah. So is it true that if you don't lift heavy weight in the gym, you're not really working out? I know you talk about injuries and muscles.
That's eh, again, I love that you've done a lot of research. So I like this question because it's something we have to deal a lot with, even at the outpatient, working with patients. Patients walk in and they have this question: what is or what's the optimal level of physical activity that I require to stay healthy? Sort of
Mhm.
bodies and associations, both in the West and also here in Africa, that's Nigeria and other parts of Africa that I'm very familiar with. There are organizations that actually have been able to say this is the recommended level, duration, and type of
Mhm.
intensity of exercise, physical activity that is required to have that optimum state of, right? And then
Mhm.
most agree that for an adult, male, 115 minutes in a week of moderate aerobic exercise, and I'll define what
Mhm.
that is. And they've actually said not about having this 115 minutes at
Mhm.
one stretch. You can actually
Yeah.
break this down across. So we can just say tentatively 30 minutes, 5 times a week
Yeah.
will give you your 150. And this is the minimum
Mhm.
above
Yeah, or basically
that,
it's
right? Will give
two
you that
two and a half
optimum.
hours. You can break it down however 2.5 hours, however you want to piece it up,
Ex-
piece it up.
Exactly. Exactly. However
Yeah,
you want
fair.
to pick it up, just have your weekly dose of that physical
Yes.
activity. That now
Mhm.
would range, has a lot of, it gives a lot of variety. So it doesn't limit it to just that aspect of the vigorous lifting of weights. Now, what are
Yeah.
the advantages out to that? But what are the advantages of the why should I lift weights if I'm just doing it very for a passing period, right? It just helps with
Mhm.
strengthening the muscles, right? That's really all it does. So if you see some people who are taking a walk, and it's now happening in this part of the world, but also mostly in the West, they have these so light, but they're carrying it about,
Yeah.
especially the ladies, right? It's just to help with
Yeah.
the strengthening of muscles. But one thing you'd realize is that you see that with the elderly doing
Mm.
that because the age, our muscle mass begins to reduce. And so it's
Mm.
advised that at least in addition to this recommendation that I've stated, that at least 2 days in a week that you do have some muscle strengthening activity, which can
Mm.
be this, and it's not the Austin Powers kind of,
Yeah.
weight,
Bench level
but
50
or
kg.
Jason Statham kind of weight, but your whatever in your home, something that's quite heavy that helps you just, it could even be buckets of water that you could
Mm.
up and drop, just a short time, at least 2 days a week. But like you
Yeah.
said, there's something you said. Now, the basic optimum health, especially for young people like you and I, is that 150 minutes in a week, and it can risk,
Mm.
like you said, taking a walk. So just a
Yeah.
brisk walk down your street and back home, if you can get your 30 minutes that day, beautiful. And the advantage is that open air, you're
Mm.
outside. So you're having that good, clean air and that it's the lot that just helping your lungs, you're breathing better, and then it helps again because you're looking at your environment, you're appreciating nature. That's the
Mhm.
advantage. And then for some people who looking at variety, they get a bicycle. And they could also do this as well on the street, aerobic, and they're good. Or some
Mhm.
other things, dance. So if that's your
Yeah.
thing, you're good. Or if you love tennis, then you could just go to the
Yeah.
court. If you love swimming, so these are the options.
Okay. So we've talked about some of the myths.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for covering the whole broad range. Let's talk
yeah,
about some
yeah,
disadvantages as well, and
yeah,
not disadvantage, really
yeah.
risk. Is there a risk
Mm,
of over exercising, or and also sub question: is there a risk of focusing only on your physical appearance when doing those
mm.
exercises? So risk of over exercising
Thank you.
and risk of focusing only on appearance.
Again, thank you so much. What happens is this translates from how we see ourselves to
Hmm.
the things we want in life. I think it just transcends all of that because for some people, you'll be so shocked. There's people who look good to you. You tell them you look good. You're not big, you're
Yeah.
not too skinny, you're just fine. But their perception about themselves, and I'm starting from that because everything starts from the mind.
Mm.
They just feel there's something wrong. It's described in something people call ED, that's the body dysmorphic disorder, where people
Mhm.
just feel they don't look good enough. Face has a problem, their arms have a problem, and so what they keep doing is that they now overdoing it. Overdoing, you can put the line where it is now encroaching into our life. I'll give a very
Yeah.
good example. So, some people, the gym becomes an addiction. Could happen is because when we exercise, no matter what it is, whether it's just running down the street or even in the physical space of a gym, there are some chemicals that get released in the brain that are very similar to the drug called morphine, right? These are called endorphins, and they are
Yeah.
I would tell, well, if you on the internet, they're usually called feel good hormones, right? So they make
Yeah.
people really feel good about themselves, how they feel. And so when they do this, some people add to that feeling, not just about the exercise anymore, but it's how they feel during and after. So they keep going.
Yeah.
Number two, when they start seeing the result, a result that has other attractions. So now they find themselves more physically attractive, or
Hmm.
by the opposite sex, or in these days,
Hmm.
even by the same sex. They tend to say, "Oh, this is getting me something I never got before." I've watched high school movies, and you see a young
Hmm.
person is fine. He starts gymming, and the girls start coming. What does that tell you? It
Mm.
reinforces that if I continue this behavior, more will come. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been seen, but now I'm being seen. Again, still, this is on the mind. And number two, the body has a limit. And I know you started talking about this because all my muscles have an extent. And if I rapidly get them bigger, they begin to
Hmm.
tear. So I start having all
Mm.
this muscle tears that I can't see, but it's happening, and there's no time for my muscles to repair and recover. I have these little
Mm.
injuries that I can't see, my joints. I start having this breaking down the cushion that my joints
Yeah.
naturally have for moderate exercise, and then I end up with some arthritis, inflammation, and then some toxin up in my system. For some people, they don't
Mm.
understand this. So there's a mechanism in your body that's supposed to eat up anything that we call like a of using up oxygen and using up the energy in your muscles. They're called free
Yeah.
radicals. Your body has a system that mop when you just do what you're supposed to do. Now, if I overdo it, I start having my body mop up more, and then it
Mm.
gets tired. It can't mop up as much as you're giving it. So you have a
Right.
lot more those free radicals roaming in your, and that really leads back to your health being a problem. The third bit is when people now say because again, like, it goes on to that dysmorphia disorder. I'm not big enough, I want to be bigger. The packs are not large enough, and then you're good, you look really good,
Yeah.
but you say no, I can do better. Then they have to take
Yeah.
enhancers, so they now
Mm.
start taking drugs. There are all these testosterone injections. So these are normal hormones that we produce as men, and even women have a little. But now, And that's what is actually responsible why men have a bigger mass than, right? But now to get even bigger, someone in the gym, the same place you got your salvation, tell go bigger. Here, this is an injection that if you
Mm.
take it, you get this muscle mass, and you know we are not patient. We want it now, especially in this
Yeah.
generation. I want it now. So they tell you this will give you the abs you want in 4 weeks. And
Mm.
you're now injecting yourself. You become a drug, injecting drugs. You understand? The
Hmm.
other thing people don't tell you about is all those protein shakes. So they tell you about the protein shakes and tell you keep taking them, and then all in that protein, you're taking on a lot of proteins that can affect your kidneys. So a lot of people now develop kidney stones, and then they're having all issues because of that bulk of protein that eventually becomes compounds that crystallize in their blood and in their urine. So again, gymming, beautiful, perfect. When it has to do with doing it in moderacy, getting your right amount of duration for exercise, and then toning your muscles, beautiful. The social aspect, reducing anxiety, being, reducing stress, socializing with others, having a structured regimen, excellent. But with everything, just like in everything in life, the same thing with food, the same thing even with water, you can get water intoxication. Everything done in excess would eventually cause a problem. Yeah.
Yes. So basically, what we got from that, or I can, if I have to summarize it in a
Yes.
one-liner, if you work out too much, your body's going to get worked out. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, beautiful,
it's
beautiful. Excellent, excellent summary.
easy on yourself. So some we are slowly going to round up now. Just some quick question: are
Yes.
there alternative ways for us to be healthy? Obviously, you said you have to do everything in moderation. The
Yes.
gym, physical fitness, mental fitness, social fitness. Are there other ways of getting healthy without putting too much pressure on being, on being socially fit? That's the best way I can describe it.
I like that expression, socially fit. Brilliant. I think like I always start from, I think it begins here. It begins in the mind, it begins with, and there's something I watched in one of your episodes talking about purpose, right? And it just being intent, your intent. What does this mean for you? What gives you meaning as an
Mm,
individual? And once that starts seeking and seeping into you, just in your mental space, then you begin to say, what are my goals? I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, and I want to be able to achieve my purpose, what I have to do. And to do that, I need a healthy body and I need a healthy mind. And I also need a
mm,
healthy spirit, right? And so, like I
yes.
said, these things come together in some form of synergy to make a complete whole. So I'm going to eat right. I'm going to sleep right. I'm going
What is
to
the right
um,
sleep?
beautiful. So again, just the same way in the West and also in this parts of the world, there are different associations. The American associations, the UK associations that talk about the minimum amount of sleep that should be optimum to lead a good life, right? To lead a healthy life. A lot of people say it's
Mm,
not attainable, but what they've also done is to say that you don't have to have this also at a stretch, right? Again, that's the whole thing.
mm.
So the recommendation is 7 to 9 hours. 7 to 9
Wow.
hours a day. I know for a lot of people it just seems like, oh, this is not attainable. But
That
honestly,
is a
if you
quarter of your day.
yeah, exactly. Especially, but you see, that's what's happening with our society. We tell ourselves that 24 hours is no longer enough. I need more,
Mm.
but that's not true. You can actually utilize and maximize your time. So if you have time, but most people, again, it's the unrealistic requirements from the society we live in today. I have to spend time with family. I have to have a good job. I have to have two good jobs, or maybe
Mm.
even three, to be able to reel
Yeah.
in the finances. And how
Yeah.
do how do I fit in my 7 to 9 hours? Almost possibly, almost impossible, right?
It's
But
very
that's the
impossible. Yeah.
recommendation. Yes. but that's the recommendation, so that you have all your juices, all your fluids, your mind, your brain, your
Yeah.
alertness, your ability to create and think, to even do this requires that amount of stability and wellness and wholeness. So like I was saying,
Mm.
eating right, sleeping right, if you already have some chronic illness, managing that, consistently, taking your medications, your treatments, whatever the routine is, and obviously your physical activity is so critical. People just take it for granted, but it's important
Mm.
to just make sure that you're living a physical active life, a physically active life. I tell some people who live in duplexes, and then they have kids, right? They would
Mm-hmm.
they would stay downstairs and call on their kids from upstairs and say, please go
Yeah.
to my room and get this. That may have been your only opportunity to move your body on a weekend. So you have to
Mm.
take that. For some people, it's just about picking up the remote or getting a glass of water from the kitchenette. Just those little things are very critical. Taking the bus instead of driving, because what happens is that your bus will only get you not to your home but to the closest
Yeah.
station to you. So then you get to
Yeah.
do a bit of a walk. Not very great in our parts of the world. I know in the West that happens a lot. You're taking the train, even working from the start of the underground to your train is a good
It's
walk,
a lot.
but there's a
Yeah.
lot of areas. But here, I could literally make sure that I drive into my workspace and want to get a parking that is close to the front door. And that's the issue. That's what
Mm.
we have to deal with, because we keep talking about how come our parents lived longer and our grandparents. They didn't have vehicles. They didn't eat the kinds of
Mm.
processed foods we're eating. Yes, they didn't have gyms, but they walked a
Mm-hmm.
lot. They ate a lot of fruits and vegetables. They had a lot of local. Some of the things that we're seeing in the food supplement pills were in the spices that they used in their
Wow.
food preparation. They were in the leaves that we saw them,
Mm.
just, put in the soups, which were,
Yeah.
gradually losing. So I really do hope it's a step in the right direction that you're doing this podcast, because I'm hoping you're able to trigger those hard conversations that people are not willing to
Hopefully.
have, and to have those questions, that people just say, okay, I have to do better. And just one of my final words would be that um, if you start today, you make a big change. Don't feel that, oh, I've not been doing the right things all these years. If you start today, it changes everything. So just start today. And you know what?
Yeah.
A little at a time. If you can't do your 30 minutes a day, give me 10, give me 5, give me anything. But what I won't take
Mm-hmm.
is not doing anything at all. So let's just put in the work and do the little that we can. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. If you just a few more questions, just one more question, we'll do some would
Yes.
you rather question, have some fun.
Yes.
Well, not all too serious. So the
Yes.
last serious
Yeah.
question is: there a way that we can redefine fitness to be
Yes.
inclusive of different body types and abilities? Like I said, the person said to me, "You don't go to the." Oh, the person said felt that
Yes.
since I'm not going to the gym, I'm quite lazy, and now I'm looking at him that you're bigger than me, your stomach is bigger than me, but you're going to the gym. So is there a way to redefine fitness to be inclusive of different body types and different abilities in the gym for those that don't push 300 and they can only
Eh,
push like 10 kg?
I totally agree with you. For me, one of the things I use as a criteria is that let's go up a flight of stairs. If I go up a
Mm,
flight of stairs and when I get to the stair landing, I'm not struggling to catch my breath. And my
mm,
friend who goes to that gym, or my mom who doesn't go to the gym, is like, why are you breathing like that? Then I know there's a problem. I know there's a
mm,
problem somewhere. So it's all about building that lung capacity. I'm looking at my well-being. I'm looking at the way I walk and all of that. So that would be my test for everybody, right? Is the
mm,
ability that whatever routine that you have, whatever routine my mom has, whatever routine that my friend who is in their 50s or 40s has, my colleague who is in their middle ages, and then even my younger brother who may be a teenager, whatever routine that they have, if we all are taking an endurance walk or a flight up the stairs, when we get to the stair landing, who is most in trouble, and then I know you
Mm.
need to do some more work with your breathing. And then the other thing is also about the mind. I still come back to the mind. What are your
Mm.
goals, right? What do you want to achieve as a person, and what will keep you um, giving that balance, that equilibrium, because
Mm.
whatever you do. So if I'm doing too much of something, it's going to cause an imbalance. Am I there
Yeah.
for the things I need to do? Am I taking care of my spiritual health? Am I taking care of my physical health? Am I taking care of my mental health? And
Mm.
and then I can now say yes, I am that balanced human being, and that's what we should all achieve, and that's what we should all aim for.
Fantastic, fantastic round off. Fantastic round off for that. And basically, guys, watch your breathing, watch how you breathe when you climb
Yes,
up the stairs,
the
and use
flight
that
of
as a
stairs.
yardstick to decide.
Yes.
Decide if you need to do some more workout. Okay. So as usual, I like to end with some would you rather questions, and I have three on this particular
Okay.
for this particular episode.
Great.
So I would like you to participate, and everyone listening as
Yeah.
well, please feel free to participate as well. So the first one is: would you rather believe that no pain, no gain is true, or that you can out exercise a bad diet? Which one would you rather believe? I'm asking this
I
one
would
first.
rather. I'll go with the first. No pain, no gain. You can't out exercise a bad diet because before you can out the diet might out diet you. So I'll go with the first. No pain, no
Okay.
gain. I believe that. I believe that. Yeah.
I guess everyone we have to say that now, because you can see the passion that's needing to answer that question. So stay away from bad diet, okay?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Two, the second to the last one is: would you rather get fit by gardening every day or by dancing in public every morning?
Oh my God. I love to dance crazy. I love to do crazy stuff, right? I'd rather dance crazy
Mhm.
on the streets. Yes. I'd love that. I love that more than no, gardening. No, I could do that for leisure, but I'd rather dance.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, once upon a time, I think I'd rather do gardening now. I think I'm enjoying the whole planting and watching the thing blossom. I'll rather do
Do
gardening every day.
gardening.
Only that you have to have the right posture as well and your back. Since we're talking about
Exactly,
healthy
exactly.
living, okay, let's come back to you and say
Yes.
we'll dance every morning because I think dancing,
Yes, I
might
would.
still
I
be
would.
better than bending down and all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
of
and then the
course.
final one is: would you rather have everyone think you're super fit but secretly hate working out, or actually be super fit but no one notices?
Ah, actually be super fit and no one notices. And they keep asking, "What are you doing?" I say, "It's my little secret." And keep them guessing, and they what do you know? People want to know. People want that elixir of life, right? What's that thing you're doing,
Yeah,
right? I'd rather have my
yeah.
secret and just look good, live healthy, live long, have good relationships, and keep people guessing than the other way around where I really hate what I'm doing, or even if I love what I'm doing, but I'm just exerting myself, and then you can imagine, and then I have a bad testimony because there's some imbalance in other areas of my life, and
Mm.
I just have to keep up appearances, etc. But don't tell me it's all over. But this has been fun. This has been so
This
much
has been
fun.
fun. It has.
Oh my
Let me
God,
slowly
this has
do a
been fun.
round. At the end of the day, people, health isn't about looking a certain way or following a trend. It's about feeling your best and living a balanced life. You heard about
Yeah,
the mental, the physical, as well as the
yeah,
social fitness. Okay, sleep
yeah,
well, eat right, do some exercise at least
yeah,
2.5 hours a week. So let's stop
yeah.
letting societal norms dictate our choices and start focusing on what truly matters for our well-being. What is our intent for being healthy? Okay, I would like to hear your thoughts on what you've heard today. Okay, please press the like button if you're watching on YouTube, and if there's a like button on Spotify, do that as well. Follow the podcast, subscribe if you're new or yet to do so, and please check out Healthy Today on Spotify. Health Innovation Plus. You're going to see Dr. Emeka in all of his glory, talking about giving you different health tips on what goes
Yes,
inside your body and on your
Yes.
body. Okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you
Yes.
you on anywhere else apart from Spotify?
On YouTube. We're also on YouTube. Yeah, we're also on YouTube as well.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so you can check us up on YouTube as well. I'm sure the tag would be on this video so they could also access that as well. Yes.
yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I also leave everything in the description below. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us, and thank you for giving us this your insight. I know you're a
Thank
very, very
you.
busy
Thank you
man, so I
so I
appreciate
know, but thank
that
you
you
so much. I
enjoyed
was really
this.
happy to do this. I didn't actually know how much fun this was going to be. So if I knew, would have done this much earlier. But I'm still grateful. It's a good way to start the year. It's a very good way to
Yes,
start 2025, and I'm really excited about this and the prospects that these hold. So well done, and very well done for all you do, keeping us scatayan.
thank
Really
you.
excited about this, and really good. And thank you for giving us a space where we can talk as
Yeah,
people and just discuss different things like this. Really excited. Well done.
of course, of course. And always, you are free to come back at any point, at any time
Yay!
that you
Yay!
want.
Means I did a good job.
You did a
Great,
fantastic job. I'm sure the
excellent.
audience are going to listen up as well. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
excellent. Thank you so
So
much.
until the next time, people, Happy New Year. Remember to
Happy New
question
Year.
everything, stay curious, and use your brain.
Yeah.
SCFA. Peace.
Peace.